Well, hello, and welcome to Little State Big Voices with myself, Shahida, and my fabulous co-host Tracy.
Hey y'all.
How are you? Well, it's Sunday we're taping, but this is going to air tomorrow. But so, how are you this wonderful Sunday day?
I'm good. I'm good. I had a
The
good
weekend
weekend.
has been great here. The last couple of weeks, this has been a fabulous
The
fall. I
weather has
mean,
been really nice.
it has been, and I think this week we were like in the 70s, and it just felt good. It didn't even feel hot. It just felt like really comfortable, nice walking weather. I did over 11,000 steps yesterday.
I did
Kudos
not,
to me.
but kudos to you. I love it for you.
Kudos to me. But you were all over the place. I don't even know how you didn't do 10,000 steps because you were
Yeah.
all over this weekend.
I was kind of doing my thing. I think I had cabin fever from being like down and out for the last few weeks. So I was like, I've been having this like burst of energy to go places and be outside.
I have been having that feeling too, only more so for me. It's about trying to get the last bit of movement, exercise, seeing things, and experiencing nature. I still keep going back to that TED Talk. And ever since then, I have really tried very hard to experience nature, go for walks, enjoy the greenery, the scenery, the changing of the colors. And so I've been like trying to do that the last few weeks. So I've been outside a lot more than I have intentionally been outside a lot more than I think I've ever have in my life.
Yeah, and it's like you don't want to waste the sun, the dry
Mm,
weather. You don't want to waste it when you can be out, even if it's just like you said, going for a walk and observing nature. So, or taking a drive. Morale said the other day, he's like, it's a good day for a drive. We've never taken a drive in our friggin' lives.
get out.
Like just to look at, like drive around. No, we don't. We always have a destination. So
Yeah.
for him to say we should just take a drive, I'm like, are you trying to murder me? Because we don't just take drives.
You know what? I'm with you, sis, because I'm like, if you could throw me a curveball out of nowhere, hey, you trying to kill me? What's happening? That is hilarious. Where'd you go?
We didn't. That's the point. Like I ended up going out. We talked about taking a drive, but we didn't actually take a drive. But now that I'm convinced that he's not trying to off me, I probably will take a drive. Maybe we'll go down to Newport this week.
No, she didn't. That was something I used to do all the time, especially when my kids were younger, and I still do it now. When we first moved to Rhode Island, I was just like, let's just drive around and get lost. And that
Hmm.
was our thing. We drive because you can always find your way home.
And now
We
that
get
all
lost.
the tourists are gone from like the nice coastal
Mhm.
locales, now is a good time for residents or people from like other parts of New England to come and actually enjoy it without people from out of town kind of bringing their energy, which is fine. We love the tourism, it's great for the economy, but this is also a nice downtime for locals.
As I did my tourism thing in Salem, I know they were like, "We're tired of these
That
people
doesn't
coming
count. You're
here
from
every Halloween."
Massachusetts. You're from Massachusetts. You're not a tourist. You from the
Bringing,
pan, girl.
bringing my raggedy ass Rhode Island kids.
Oh, you did bring the Rhode Island people. They are tourists.
Yeah, 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 but we had a nice day. Like I said, it was beautiful. I did 11,000 steps. It's it almost reminds you of Hocus Pocus of being because you're in the town, everybody's all
Yeah.
dressed up and
Salem is so
food
interesting.
everywhere. It was fun. So, what'd you do?
So, what did I do? So, last week in the week, I went to the Providence Art Club, which I really enjoyed that experience. And we've been missing out, girl. We need to be at the Providence Art Club, taking advantage of their Thirsty Thursdays, their art trivia nights. Like,
Back up, back up. What is
yes,
Thirsty Thursdays, ma'am?
it's just what it sounds like. It's like come and drink with us and look at
Mhm.
beautiful art. Like what more could you ask for?
Oh wow. So what type of I mean just any type of artist, like paint writers, painters? What?
So it's mainly visual arts
Okay.
that I was able to observe. So I actually went to an artist talk. There were three artists there. The one that stood out to me was Sean Kelly. He had these really great paintings, and I don't want to mess up his medium, but they looked like oils of normal things like hamburgers and French fries. It brought like this elevated painting style to everyday items, even
Yeah.
like cows standing in a field. And there was another artist that did some beautiful floral and landscapes, and another artist that was doing sculpture. So there was sculpture as well. But I learned just from going to this free event in the middle of the afternoon that they, in addition to doing these artist talks occasionally, there's a gallery. And I met the gallery manager, Michael, who was so welcoming and so like, please come back. And he's telling me to bring my son, who's an artist, so he can make connections and things like that. But they also offer culinary arts classes. They offer art classes, of course. And then there's this really cool, almost like a smoking style lounge, but I don't think people actually smoke in there. And it's just like a grown activity to do that's not going to the club. And you could be home and in bed by 9, 10 o'clock after you drank all afternoon on Thirsty Thursday and looked at great art. So.
And again, like you said, one of the things that I'm so impressed with, pretty much so New England, there are a lot of things you can do that's free.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
you
have a
just
lot of
go and
expensive things, but there are a lot of things that you can do that are free.
you just go, you buy your drinks. Of course, if you take classes, you pay for your classes and things. So that was something I did on last Thursday, which was great. And it was just like cool networking. Like I was there for maybe 45 minutes and I connected with Michael. I met some of the people who were also interested in hearing the talk. So it was just a good way to like meet people as well, which I think and we'll get to the topic of, meeting people and relationships later in this episode. So I did that, and then over the weekend I went to our good friend Julia's over at Kin. There was a photo exhibit for that Jonathan Pitts Wiley donated. It's Blacktober weekend over at Kin. So they the photography of Jonathan Pitts Wiley, one of his exhibits called Baton, is there. And if you were able to catch it, you would see that it was really family oriented. The Pitts Wiley clan was deep in those photographs. That was really great. What else? And then I went to the expo over at Farm Fresh, which was hosted by Latina 100.3 FM, the radio station, and it blew my mind. It was a great expo.
I know. Yeah. I wanted to go to that because this was the second one that you went to, right? The
So I was confused, right? I knew that I went to a quinceañera expo, and that was 2 weeks ago at the Marriott. So that was like all vendors and for quinceañeras, dresses, makeup, photography, blah, blah, blah. So when I saw the tickets for the Latina FM event, I saw that they were having a quinceañera fashion show, and I just assumed the entire thing was about quinceañera parties, and it was so much more than that. There was a beautiful fashion show, don't get me wrong, but in addition there were vendors there from local businesses, Latinx owned businesses, everything from food and drink to you could get like the girdles for after you get your plastic surgery, or if you're just trying to suck your stomach in. There were quinceañera vendors, but there was a guy teaching bachata, Dominican dance moves. It was so fun and so cool. I went live, and he actually, you can sign up to take those classes here in Rhode Island. What else? I met people from Providence Housing Authority, from Coca-Cola. They were recruiting. Look, the Providence Police Department was there recruiting, so they will, their HR, they were looking for, people to work for those organizations. It was really cool.
and again, I know we all have issues with the police, but you can't change any of those issues if you don't raise your sons and daughters to maybe join the police force or you
Absolutely.
yourself. I'm too old, but I'm just saying.
Well, it's not just, I mean, of course, they want officers, but there's other jobs within law enforcement. You know, there are
Hmm.
clerks, there are, people who work in the office section, even, Providence Housing Authority and Coca Cola, they were looking for, some of them were remote opportunities for Coca Cola, which is based out of Bedford, New Hampshire. They came all the way here to recruit. Coca-Cola of the Northeast, and then Providence Housing Authority, they're looking for a grant writer. And the salaries are very visible and transparent. And I mean good salaries,
I
girl.
know a grant writer.
I know you do, and I'm gonna share that information because she needs to apply.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I was like, wait, just happened. I know, and you're not centered, so can you move a little?
Oh,
So see your whole face. There we go.
okay, sorry.
I know y'all would be mad at me if y'all didn't see Tracy's whole face.
Hey, I'm back. I'm back. So what else? Yeah, there was some really great career opportunities. There were banks there. VD Mercedes Benz was there talking about vehicles that, and lease opportunities. It was a full on Latin
I,
expo.
yeah, right?
What's that?
On Sims Ave? Oh,
Yes,
wow.
right there at Farm Fresh. And it was free to go. You
Mhm.
could just walk in there with, they weren't even checking a ticket. I did it on Eventbrite. I just walked right in and
Mhm.
enjoyed myself. But it was really beautiful to see, the community. Then there was some public figures from the Latin community there as well. One of them joined in the bachata dancing. It was just really, it was a fest. Like it was enjoyable and good for a lot of things about the community and housing too. They were saying like Providence Housing
Yeah.
really wants landlords. They're looking for units to get people into, and they've got Section 8 wait lists that, people are trying to get into to units, and they're trying to help people get housing. They need more landlords to step up and say, "Hey, I'll
The wait
take Section 8."
years long.
Yeah.
It's insane. So
But this is something that harkens back to what
smart.
I was saying, it harkens back to what Congressman Amo was talking about as far as the pipeline for housing. Sometimes elderly people don't have a next place to go, so they hold on to property, or they don't leave their home. And that could be an opportunity for a new family to come in and maybe break it into a multifamily or refinish a basement or something like that and open up more housing for others. And of course, we want our elders to have a safe place to go, but that's, I had some really good conversations, like, period there.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that was much more than I expected.
Hmm.
So unfortunately I couldn't go yesterday because I was in
Well,
Salem.
you listen, you had to
Salem
go
with
to
the
Salem with the kids. Like, you had to strike while the iron was hot. And I heard they made your pockets rabbit ears.
it's, it's, my grandson came up to me yesterday. He said, I want to show you something on your phone. I said, I ain't buying a damn thing. He's like, why would you even ask that? I didn't even say. Because every time you go, oh, let me show you something on your phone, it's always something. Stop. Anyway, but you know what? I'm a sucker. I don't care. That's between you and me. I love the boy. He can have everything I
Of course. That's why,
got.
like, I'm so
Everything I got.
so ready for my grandkids, but I low key realize that once they come, they're also going to drain my pockets like substantially. So I was like, let me enjoy this moment where I don't have any little kids, and I really am only responsible for myself, because when those grandkids come, like, what do you want? What do you need?
My coworker just had his first grandchild, and he came into work this week. He said, I'm in love. I said, oh, it's just put sucker on your forehead right now because there's just nothing like it. It's just like I always say, you raise your children. You have to think about every single thing with your grandchildren. You're just relaxed because their parents are raising them. They are just an extension of like everything that you have and do. So you would just want to make them happy.
Yeah.
It's so different. I love it anyway. But yeah, so that's what we ended up, and today I wanted to go hang out with you. You're going back to Julia's for a great event, but I
Most
gotta put
definitely.
henna in my hair.
Girl,
I gotta.
wash that henna out and come over to Ken. They're introducing a new head chef and they're having a special dinner tonight. Chef Wally is coming to Ken in Providence downtown. You got to be there
I mean, I could wash it out. It's been in for a while now.
or just leave the baseball
Just
cap
try,
on. It could be cute.
just trying to cover up the gray because I can't. I'm afraid to do like dye anymore, so I just been doing the henna.
Yeah.
But
Come
I,
on.
I, we'll see. But so, what's the event tonight?
So, like I said, Ken is welcoming a new head chef. His name is Chef Wally. If you go on the Ken PVD Instagram, social media, you'll see that, this is a welcome dinner for him. So, after the restaurant is closed for the afternoon, because they did brunch earlier, or they're doing
Okay.
brunch actively right now. Once brunch is over, they're going to shut the restaurant down and it's going to be a ticketed event for introducing the community to the new head chef, which I think is awesome. Like, that's so beautiful because Ken has been a fixture in the community now for what, 4 years since like they came along during the pandemic. Yeah, I think it was like it's been four. I think it's four.
The pandemic, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. And Julia's awesome. Like, and
She really
Providence,
is.
it's small. Anybody I talk to is like, yeah, I know Ken, I know Julia, and she's right
Mhm.
downtown. When I was telling you earlier, when I walked in to come and see the photo exhibit, it was wall to wall with men. There was so many dudes there.
That's what I'm trying to get my hair together. I'm trying to get myself together right now.
They were having fraternity event, and it was just like I've been to Ken and it's been busy and there's been energy, but there's just something about when there's just so many guys there. And I walked in and people were like, "Hi, how you doing?" I was like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Trixie's a flirt.
What can I say? How you doing?
Yeah, I may. I don't know. It depends. I'm like, it's my kind of like Sunday is my day where I love to be like in the house. I'm gonna wash my hair soon, then I'm gonna, get myself maybe. Well, it's not cold enough because I usually like to take a nice hot long bath when it's cold, but I'll probably just do a shower tonight. But then kind of like just slather myself and like all the self-care stuff and just chill.
So going out and socializing is not your top priority
No,
tonight.
uh, not on Sundays. Not on Sundays, but I am realizing that the days are getting shorter. So if I want to enjoy the sun as much as possible, and then also I'm trying not to go into the winter month with like, oh no, I'm not going to go out because it's dark and it's cold.
Yeah, I do.
But Sunday is usually just my chill day.
That's my daughter's thing. She's like, "Do not bother me on Sunday." She FaceTimes me from bed on Sunday, like all the time. Under her covers, the cat is on the comforter, and she's just not trying to move. And I'm like, I respect it. When you work Monday through Friday, and the work be working you, Sundays is sometimes that's your refuge day. But I've been, like I said, been having like this cabin fever where I'm like, I gotta get out. I gotta get outside.
Like a nice, not a vacation, but you've been at a staycation kind of thing because you've been out hurt. So
And I actually went
yeah.
out last night. That was the other thing I did this weekend. I went like out last night with adults and adult beverages to the firefighters Halloween bash last night in Boston, hosted by Danger. Um, also my
Girl,
Revolut
and
brother.
one thing, you did two things in one day.
I did, and it
You
was
did.
okay. It was
Mhm.
okay.
How was that?
It was so cool. Oh my gosh, the costumes. Because they throw some amazing Halloween parties, the
Were
firefighters,
you in
Nine
costume?
Alarms. And so I went as Little Red Riding Hood. I will post a
Okay.
pic of my costume. But
Hmm.
there were, I think, 7 Wednesday Adams. there, there were a couple Harley Quinns, a few
Hmm.
Chuckies.
I
But
love Harley Quinn.
yeah,
That is like my favorite. Well, I love the animated Harley Quinn that comes on
Oh yeah,
uh,
the
that
sadness,
show.
the tongue in
Hilarious.
cheek, the sarcasm is very funny.
It's
But I
hilarious.
had some good wings up in the Carver Den. So if you're from
Mhm.
Boston or you know
Oh, it was at the
Boston,
Carver thing?
it was held on Talbot Ave at Russell Auditorium,
Okay.
and they had the kitchen open because it was catering to people like 40 and up, I would say. So
Yeah.
when we go out at night, we want to eat and we want to sit down. And
Mhm.
that was available to you, as well as a really great dance floor which stayed full. But you know
Mhm.
what really impressed me and what stood out to me last night was I met these two women, Kim and Denise,
Mhm.
and they are from, I gotta make sure I get this right, Mahogany Mates. And when I walked in, what they did was they were asking people if they were single, and they had like a whole display going. If you were single, they would give you a badge, like a little sticker to put
Mhm.
on so other singles could know you were single and ready to mingle. So I thought that was really cool. And they actually have a social media page. So they will go to your event and they will engage people and help singles match up, which I thought was really dope. I get nothing as a married lady. They just was like, yeah, keep it
Shut up.
stepping, sis.
Shut up. Anyway, but no, that is a okay. So I know you said that they're doing a website. So you actually invite them to your event,
I think
and
that's the
they
premise. Yeah.
oh, that is
Or maybe they'll
actually
provide you with the materials if they don't physically show up, because I think as they gain popularity, they can't be everywhere at once,
yeah,
but
that's
maybe
true.
they'll provide the resources. So
Hmm.
I'd love to actually get more FaceTime with them and find out more of what they're doing, because Mahogany Mates implies that it is specifically catering to people of color, and that I think it's also maybe our age group too. It doesn't say that, but it kind of feels like it's for a more mature audience, which I think is great because there were, I'm sure, a lot of single people there last night. And it's a bit of an icebreaker if you see someone with the, but one of our friends said, oh, I feel like I have the scarlet letter on. I'm like, that's not necessarily a bad thing, girl. Wear that scarlet letter because there's a man that might be looking for.
Check with her to see if she met anybody that night.
I was with her the whole damn night. I probably was cramping her style. I should have let her mix and mingle with the men.
So she didn't meet anybody.
I will not say whether she did or didn't. She might have. I can check back and see because I wasn't with her. I was with her most of the night, but not the whole
Hmm.
night. So she might have.
That's an interesting take. I feel like more so than anything as far as like single dating and events like that, and I feel like black women are specifically not impressed with those because the ratio of men is always messed up.
Hmm.
Then the quality of men is always kind of messed up. And then if you are just really stuck on dating other African American men, then uh, your pool becomes a little
Yeah.
frothy
So I'd
sometimes.
like to hear, what their system is, what their methodologies are,
Hmm.
because it's interesting. It's like, where do you meet people, I guess,
Hmm.
after a certain age? And I'm hearing a lot of people who are like divorcing that are in our age group, and they're like,
Hmm.
I'm like, what does that look like for someone who's
That looks
like
scary.
getting back into the
That
pool?
looks
So
scary. When you're with somebody for a very long time and then trying to go out and experiencing something new, one, a lot of it is comparison. Like this, my ex did this or whatever. If it's a long-term relationship or a marriage, it is very hard at this age, 40 and over. I'll include that group too because I've been there. But it's very hard there's a lot you have to do on yourself, I think, before you actually go out there because it's a mental trauma game. Mentally traumatizing.
yeah.
So there's a lot you have to do to like, make sure that you're okay with rejection. Make sure that you're okay with either just being alone because you just might just be alone after a certain amount of time because, people are not on the same page as you. I would like to have like 3 or 4 single women that listen to our podcast to come on the podcast
Yeah,
and talk about their experiences.
I would love that too. Maybe some men too.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
Because
do
I
it. Let's
think
do a
a lot of
power talk.
signals are getting crossed. Like when I look at social media, I see things like men saying, "Oh, I'm scared of women gold digging me," and I'm like, first of all, where are all these rich men? Because I don't know y'all.
Who is that?
I,
And I'm not trying to be. I'm
and
not
maybe
trying
I
to be
don't run in
mean.
those circles, but I'm like, I don't know all of y'all high earning men that women these
But
women are
it be
coming to
some
take it.
poor Joes talking about they scared of just because a woman wants to go out to a nice restaurant, and you're afraid of gold digging. You just don't want to spend.
But then I see women saying, I'm spending all this money and taking care of so I'm like, well, why can't y'all get together? These women who have money and these men who have, can't y'all get together?
She's spending all her money taking care of a
On
man.
Yeah. Like can't you guys, you middle class working adults, y'all don't know where to meet each other?
That's a question. Yeah, yeah. I say we need to have a show where we have separate first. First the women, then the men,
And
then
then bring
bring
them
them
together?
together.
Oh, I'd like that.
Because I do, especially with social media, that's the thing that kills me the most. Is it helpful or no?
I think it's neither good nor evil. It's one of those things that is how you
I
use
mean,
it.
you went straight from good versus bad to straight to evil, so that says a lot right there.
Like it's neither good nor evil. It's how you use it.
I don't know. I don't know. I think, and just like I was saying to you earlier, I looked at a whole conversation of this man telling this woman that going out on dates was almost like a fantasy thing. I'm not going to get into what he really said, but yeah, going on out dates is a fantasy thing. So you don't want a court. You don't, you just want her to come to your house and y'all order something from, some wings and have dinner there. And then what? There's no building, no sexual tension that you want to create, or there's no work to it.
And also, I think dating doesn't have to just be taking someone to a restaurant and they're ordering off the side of the menu that scares you or whatever the
Yeah,
problem is
exactly.
with these guys. Like, honestly, set a date going for a hike. I'm not a hiking person, but there are people out here who like to do things like outdoor activities. Maybe you go to a drive-in movie or you go to a regular movie, which doesn't give you a lot of chance to really have a conversation, but maybe that's
But
like
afterwards, though.
a third or fourth date opportunity. But even like this, like I said, this Providence Art Club. Like meet me down at the Providence Art Club for Thirsty Thursday. Let's look at some art. Like people need to think outside the box. But I think for women too, it takes a lot to get ready for a date. Like it's hair, nails, makeup, outfit, and I don't know what men do to prepare for dates. Like I don't know if they go as hard as we do. I'm not saying that they don't, but for women it's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy, and it's expensive. So to go on a date and then be let down, or someone's acting insane because you want to order a seafood dish to a restaurant they brought you to with seafood on the menu. I mean,
Lucky enough that I don't think I've ever. No, it's not. I don't think. I know I've never dated anybody that was itchy about paying a bill or telling me what I couldn't order or anything like that. Never. Always been very gracious. But I'm not gonna say anything more about that.
wait,
I'm
you
gonna leave
can't
it.
do that.
Mm-mm. Because it will come off. It would. It would. It's not my intent, but it would come off bad.
But you know what's crazy? I have two adult sons, and when I tell you
Mhm.
they be taking their dates to Fogo de Chao, I'm like, you are running it up on like I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so impressed with, how they date. My sons are very generous
Mhm.
when it comes to dating. And, there may be a time or two where they may decide to go Dutch, but my sons are not cheap and they will open up their wallet. Not that they have like bottomless pits of money. They work to earn their income, but they know how to treat women because I taught them how to treat those who are worthy, those who are worthy.
Exactly. But I also don't expect, especially if you are dating consistently to find that person, right? I don't think out the gate, if you choose not to, out the gate, go to the most expensive place
That
that you're
part.
but
Why y'all
so
run
what's
into a restaurant on you barely know the person?
right. So you have to, and that's where building up to get to know who you're actually seeing. You got to have more
Go
conversation.
have a
And I know
coffee. Go
I
for a
see
walk.
that's what I was just about to say, but I do see a lot of people on the internet, women saying, "You are not taking me out on a date at a coffee shop."
Somebody
Well,
flipped
yeah.
out about the guy suggesting an ice cream date. The girl was furious. I'm like, that is so cute. Like, I would. First of all, I love ice cream. So if you offer to take me on an ice cream date,
I'd be like,
listen,
are you trying to make me fat? What's happening?
I
Because
listen.
I'm getting all everything.
I
And you
might,
know
I
I love
might
me
put
some
out
ice
on that first date if you take me for ice cream, because I really do like ice cream.
But that, yeah, or like you said, and be more imaginative. Like, I remember years ago, and and it was like a coffee date or something like that. But also, I got a Harry Potter book
Mm,
because they knew that I loved Harry Potter. The movie was the last two were just coming out, and it's like before watch the movie, make sure you read thoughtfulness. And that
very
didn't cost
cute.
a whole lot. Didn't cost a whole lot. I mean, we didn't end up dating, but we ended up being friends,
But this
you
is why I
know.
say the internet can be used for good or it can be neutral. All you have to do is Google like 10 dating ideas that, for a first date or 10 dating
Hmm.
ideas for a budget of under $50 if that's all you have or
Hmm.
but it's also communication. I don't expect anyone. The way I was raised by my mom, who's a very independent Black woman, is you don't rely on anybody but yourself. Like that's how I was taught and I was raised. So I was never the girl that's like, oh, you got to get my nails done and my hair. Like that's something I could do for myself. But I also found that some men find that to be a turnoff. If you're like, I can do all this for myself. Some men don't like
Hmm.
that.
But I feel like anything that you can do for yourself, you just like with men. You don't need to express that loudly to me. That's a quiet conversation, if
Mm-hmm.
even a conversation.
Yeah.
Because if I'm already doing all this stuff for me, then it's obvious that I can do this for myself. Now, if you choose to say, you know what, I know on Tuesdays you go and you do X, Y, and Z, let me treat you this time. That's
I
fine.
love that.
I don't expect anybody to take care of the things that I can take care of. Now, if you want to, I love it. But it's not a prerequisite. And then as for women who like, I need you to pay for this, pay for this, pay for this, or whatever, you can say that, but then he has the right to be like, you know what? I just met you. I'm just going to go about my way. But then there are some men who, when you tell them that, when a woman tells them that, they love it because they
Mm-hmm.
love that bit, whether or not I might see it as controlling or a little bit of control, but whatever they decide that works for them, they love that. And a lot of men don't.
It comes down to love languages too and
Hmm.
understanding what some people for them it's acts of service and they like to
Hmm.
do things for other people. For some people it's like gifts. There are different love languages. I don't remember what I think there are five love languages or something like that.
Hmm.
I could be off on that number. But a lot of times like you come into these new relationships with a lot of baggage. You have to let some of that baggage go. It's like you said, comparison. You can't be like, well, stop having so many freaking expectations. Not that you shouldn't have any. There's a bar of like the minimum is respect. That's the
Hmm.
minimum bar. But stop expecting, just things to be what we've been indoctrinated into, oh, this is what a date looks like. This is what dating or courtship looks like, things like that. And we just do a bad job, I think, in general as people communicating over a
Mhm.
lot of things, but dating, I think, could be one of them. And then a lot of people just go into an avoidance stance and like, I don't even want to date, I don't even want to talk to anybody, and then they block the signs of people trying to date them. You know, I'm like, what? I'll be with people and be like, hey, that guy was really into you, or that girl was really into you, and the person's like, were they? I'm like, I saw it, you didn't see it. But
Yeah.
then you know, you're kind of blocking your opportunity if you're looking to date someone, because you're not even being open-minded about the people that might be interested in you.
And I like what you said about, I think if people more or less led with respect first, then there would be a lot less communication problems. Because if you respect somebody first and foremost, if you really respect them, then you are considerate of their feelings and their wants.
Yeah.
So I went and I looked up what the five love languages were, and it's words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch.
I want
So
all
which
of them.
one is most important to you?
Oh, what's most important to me? Um, Maybe quality time.
Okay, so this language all about giving the other person your undivided attention.
Oh, I want to receive the quality time, but what I my love language is actually, I think, acts of service. I'm not great at giving people quality time, but I'm great at receiving the quality time.
So for these people, actions speak louder than words. So
Yes,
that would
I love
be.
to do things. Like, I love to do things for other people. I love to make other people happy. So like your friend who gave you a Harry Potter book, I'm like, "Oh my God, I know this person likes blah blah blah. I'm going to give them something to, that's going to make them feel good about this thing that they really like." And I don't know if I feel like I try to give quality time, but it's not my strong suit. But I love to, my husband gives me good quality time, and I love that.
Mm, I would say quality time would be for me receiving and giving. That. Hmm, yeah, I think I think it would be quality time for me. I mean, I don't need you to tell me how many different ways you love me. That gets annoying to me.
Yeah.
Um, so, but I know there are certain people, and I have dated a person like that, where it's just, and it starts to become unbelievable
Love
to me. So
bombing.
maybe that is like a, it starts to feel that way. For me, definitely acts of service is definitely, it's high up there. I would say
Yeah.
like a very close second to quality time. Receiving gifts, I love gifts. But I would say that would probably be last for me. And then physical touch would be third.
Yeah.
Well, fourth. And then receiving gifts last. Because I feel like if I have all those other things, those are gifts to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like if like what you said, if we would respect first, we wouldn't have so many. But I feel like when I say that the internet is disgusting and probably a part of the reason why the dating pool has become such a toilet is because of the conversations. Not so much like you said, you can go and look things up and find out like, nice dates to do under $50 or something. That part is great. But it's when we start conversating with each other and the conversation is disrespectful from the gate. Like when you make a post and you say, "Oh my God, I can't believe this man took me to the Cheesecake Factory,"
I
and
love
it's just
Cheesecake
all
Factory.
fanatics, and I don't hate the Cheesecake Factory, but I do not like it. I hate restaurants that have like an encyclopedia
I love
for a
options.
menu.
So
But that banana cream
my
cheesecake,
favorite
stop playing with
with
me.
with but you got to get the birthday confetti sprinkles with whipped cream and the birthday confetti sprinkles on top. That banana
Mhm.
cream, mwah.
I love that banana cream. It's delicious.
But I like
But I think that's where
options.
the problem comes in is that most people come online and you wonder too about like those people who come out there like he took me to
They're
this or
trolling.
whatever.
They're definitely
Well,
trolling us.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, how much of that is true? And then you go under the post and it's just bickering, arguing all over this one person being an idiot.
But that's also rooted in what you as a person believe, and also your level of integrity. I feel
Mhm,
things like that just brings out who you already are. So if you're petty and bitter and crazy or whatever, it's just going to be more amplified because people are feeding. So
mhm,
there's some posts I see that they start off like that, and I don't even comment because I'm like, this person's, number one, the poster is trolling, or the
mhm,
person who reposted is trolling because they want attention, and I'm not going to give them my attention because
mhm.
I like the Cheesecake Factory. And I don't think that if someone takes you on a date to a Cheesecake Factory, I don't think that's low level or low budget.
Oh, let's not get it's not I don't like the Cheesecake Factory. It's not my favorite restaurant, but every time I have gone there to eat, I have enjoyed my meal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not normally gonna suggest it. It's not my
Sponsor
favorite,
the
but
show, Cheesecake Factory. I love
hmm?
your encyclopedia of choices because I
No,
don't like going somewhere and you only got five things on the menu and you never change your damn menu. That
unless
pisses
it's a
me
seafood.
off.
Yeah, I'm a seafood person. I want to go to all the seafood
I'm not going to
restaurants.
go to Cheesecake Factory for seafood.
And the thing is, the seafood places that I like are not high-end seafood places.
Yeah, you could just go
You
and get
you know
like,
those little mom and pop spots on
mhm,
Martha's Vineyard
with
or
all the
Manchester,
kids, the high school kids working there, deep frying all the stuff for you.
and they got the raggedy little picnic tables. You can take me on a date there.
Yeah. I honestly, like, I haven't been dating in a long time, but I don't even think going to eat is a good date. First of all, I love garlic. I love everything that makes me gassy at a restaurant. So I like, don't take me to a
She did
restaurant.
that
Take
like a
me
highway
somewhere
stage.
else. Take me to the amusement park. Take me
Mhm.
to, I don't know, a water park, something like something fun that we could do together, art gallery, a book reading, or whatever. And if that's too slow paced, I just don't think, like, the club, you can't even talk. Can't hear
You know
each
who has
other.
to get on here? Who
Who?
has like great dates and knows how to pick like great places to Chris.
Okay, I would love that. And that's the thing. And I feel like there are so many men out here who are like, I just can't find a woman who appreciates me, or they think I'm too sweet, or I'm too this,
That's crazy.
or I don't have any kids, so they think something's wrong with me. I'm like, if you
That's
find that needle
crazy.
in a haystack, you
Crazy.
and you've done your internet intelligence, and he passes the test, you better go and accept that man and be nice to him. Like, come
That's
on.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, I get some women who wouldn't want to date somebody who doesn't have children if they have children and they're past a certain age. And I'm like, you know what? I want to give you that opportunity to do that. I wouldn't want to date somebody under a certain age. Well, I'm not dating anybody younger than me.
Really? Why not?
I mean, like, okay, when I say younger than me, I'm like 2, 3 years, that's fine. But once you start hitting the
A
five and
nice,
the,
firm 40-year-old? No?
mm-mm, mm-mm, no, no.
45?
I might consider 40. I don't know. I might consider 45, but I don't know. I don't know.
I'll say keep an open mind.
I should because, I'm looking at my pool now and I'm like, God damn, we old.
That part, that part.
And not all old men look
But
like
some
Samuel L.
prospects are
Jackson.
opening up. I told you a couple of people I know are newly divorced. I'm like, okay, so it's almost like a second life. Like, they've had their first life. But I think, to your point, still dope Tanya is always saying, like, you don't want to go way older than you either, because then you may be stuck with health
Taking care
issues
of
and
somebody's
taking
health
care,
issues.
right, which is, if you love someone, absolutely, to having the whole sickness and health and all of that. But
But that's after you've been with them.
why invite that when you can go a little younger and for the healthier option who maybe can live a little bit longer, because women traditionally outlive men. So if you go like 10 years younger, your chances of having more time with that person increase, I think.
That's something, you know what? You're right. That's something to think about.
See, I have something to add to
You
the
have
dating
many degrees.
conversation.
You know? Yeah, I said she didn't have anything to discuss. I'm like, stay out of single people's business.
I'm trying to help y'all out. I need people to double date with, okay?
Too funny.
People that I
But,
like.
well, anyway, we will actually end on that note. But without saying first that we definitely want to continue this conversation with true
Hmm.
single people, women first, men, and then the both of you all together. So if you listen to the podcast, and it doesn't matter if you're in Rhode Island or not, because we can tap in
Hmm.
and let's talk about, dating and really kind of like break down some subjects for people that are, older or, in our age group because it's scary.
Definitely, definitely. I can understand that just because once you've gotten a certain age, you've built some things for yourself, be that, a
Mhm.
career, um, you know, whatever, you've raised your kids, you've, gotten yourself a house or at least a long term, like, you fixed yourself in a city, whatever it is. Now it's like, how do I open myself up to someone else? I really want to talk to Kim and Denise from Mahogany Mates too,
Yeah.
because I think they could shed some light on what sparked this interest. I mean, I can understand what sparked it, but I'd like to hear their story too. So
Mhm.
there are a few people that we definitely need to get on this season.
Okay, that's something to think about. So, well, until next time,
Until then, you know where to
have
find us
yeah,
on social media, right? At Little State Big Voices on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok while it lasts, on YouTube. Please come and watch us on YouTube and leave comments too, and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well.
and before we go, I gotta say this. We are down to what, 8 days
Eight
until the
days
election.
until the election. 8
Go and
days.
listen to Kelly Rowland and Beyonce, as they hype up for, Kamala. Kelly, well, they both did a fabulous job. They both did a fabulous job. But
Hmm.
Kelly, the passion that she came with, she's an excellent speaker. And that's something I never thought I was excellent. But Beyonce is a great speaker too. And she did. It was just more fiery coming
Kelly.
from Kelly. It was absolutely excellent. Please go take a listen. It's actually on our YouTube page. I put it up today, so you
Hmm.
should be able to see it. It's like 2 minutes.
That's the
Take a look.
Houston rally. The
The
Houston rally.
Houston
So they
rally.
came, they showed up. I saw Kamala with her cowgirl boots and her jeans. I was like, okay, Auntie Kamala, I see your fit. Very cute.
But anyway, till next time, have a great week. Enjoy the oncoming this incoming nice weather that we're gonna have this week as well. So enjoy
Yes.
it, and we'll
And
talk
please
to you soon.
get your life and vote.
Yep. Get your life and vote. And early voting. Do as
Early
much
voting.
early voting as possible. I mean, you could only do it one time. So, but I mean, just people need to go out there and vote early so that, that last day. Someone said to me that voting doesn't stop on December. No, voting doesn't start on November 4th, 5th. It ends on November 5th. So you have all those days in between to get out there and early vote, and you should do that.
Let's go. Bring your
All
partners,
right.
bring your spouse, bring your 18 plus kids, nieces, nephews, bring out the whole family.
Bring
Even
them
if you
out
forgot to register, you can vote
and
for
register.
president November
Hmm.
5th.
Thank
Show
you.
up and show out.
Have a great one.
All right.